Good morning, our wonderful people. Is once again, we're super excited to have you here with us. As usual, we want to remind you guys, your stakeholders, of what we're doing. This is about you, your future generation. So don't sit back and watch. Don't be those ones that get messages and they look pathetically and they don't know what to do with it. There's something you can do. There's always something you can do. It's a matter of you willing and wanting to do it. So we're getting to our destination. News is going around. People are waking up. They're getting it. What Gregor say, are you getting it? Are you getting it? They are getting it too. So the hunger, the
Hmm.
wickedness that these people want for you guys will make you to get it. Even if you're confused, you will get it. But the good news is that God has given us an answer to our problems. The question is, are you willing to go and look? Are you willing to understand? Are you willing to follow direction on what you need to do to get to that destination? If you are, please come on board. That's who we are looking for. Come on board and join us on this journey to get out to our destination. Please, as usual, continue to help us to share and like and do all those things. We're trying to go on Patreon. So I will be sending our link here on Patreon. If you can follow us on Patreon, that would be awesome. We want to start um, streaming from there, because this other platform, we cannot trust what they're doing. So help us to grow our Patreon station that allow you to tell it the way it is, to tell the truth. So we're there as daughters of truth. They don't want you to paint truth and put lipstick on it and make it turn from a monster to an angel. They like for you to tell the truth. So let me not waste most of our time. As usual, please help us to share, and I will allow my sister to add on while I put up the video of the day.
Thank you so much, my sister. Thank you, our viewers. The early birds, you're already here. Thank you, sharing, liking, subscribing. Kudos. And those that are stumbling on this video for the first time, we have stumbled on something very, very important, very crucial for your survival and the survival of your people. So please help us to share, like, and subscribe. And I will join to do that. My name is AP, of course, and I live in Lexington, Kentucky. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister.
Nigeria is going to happen, and there's nothing that these Labour Party dogs can do about it.
Yep.
Simple. We control the army, we control the navy, we control all the military, we control the executive. We have all the guns. Let's be real. Is it you guys? Is it the Igbos? Get the fuck out of here. The Igbos are trying to do their little insurgency. They can't even get that shit off the ground. Get out of here. All right? The Islamic Republic of Nigeria is going to happen, and there's nothing you are going to do about it. You think the Muslim ticket, that was just the start. Soon it's going to be a Muslim country. Arabic and Hausa will be the official languages of Nigeria. We're not speaking the our colonizers' tongue anymore.
Bro, I knew you were a goddamn terrorist. I knew you were a
Oh my
motherfucking
God,
terrorist.
terrorist
I,
this,
I, I
terrorist
knew
that.
I knew you
At
were a
least he said it out
motherfucking
loud.
terrorist. But now you said it out loud. Somebody record that, by the way. When the space is over,
They are coming out from their woodworks, guys. They are coming out. They are telling it the way it is from what their mothers and their brothers told them. So I hope you're receiving the information. Go ahead, sister.
Yes, I hope you're receiving. This is in a Twitter meeting, and it was live. So we're only playing this. We already knew. That's why people started working over 20 years ago. We knew the agenda. So we're just playing it live, unedited, so that it to get to your ear. Those that keep arguing and arguing because they've given you
Yeah.
one
They,
chicken
they
to
went
eat.
to school with them. Oh,
Yes.
he's my brother in a boarding school. I like him more than I like my brother. Yes, we ate the same food. They are coming for you, brother.
Yeah, you married their daughters, and they're the ones that started business for you. They gave you all the money. They are the one that made you who you are today. Mine was, oh, I'm Butata. In fact, they are closer to me than my brothers and sisters. My brothers and sisters and my ancestors, what did they do for me? They destroyed me and killed me. All these people, they are the ones that made me that I'm alive today.
Under fire again, this time over
Sorry.
allegations of nepotism. He recently
Oh,
announced a shake-up in India's.
so
Sorry.
sorry. So we know all that, but we are saying this is a communal target. They are after us as a people. They might be keeping you and feeding you because you are willing to that they want to use. You're an agent they want to use. Okay, stay by the corner. We are talking about agenda for the entire people, and we are here for our people. Thank you.
Fire again, this time over allegations of nepotism. He recently announced a shake-up in Nigeria's Federal Housing Authority.
Please continue to help us to share while we play this video.
And he's appointed this man as the new MD/CEO, Oyetunde Ojo. He's a former Nigerian MP. He served from 2011 to 2015, but he failed to get re-elected in the 2015 election. After that, he turned to business, reportedly in the oil and gas sector. And now he's the CEO of a housing authority. What's his qualification? Apparently, over a decade's worth of experience in the housing and hospitality industries. That's what the Nigerian government said while appointing him. But exactly when did this happen? When did he get the time to acquire this decade's worth of housing experience? It remains a mystery. But the Nigerian government insists that he is the best man for the job. Of course, they need to hype up his credentials to deflect from his other big achievement. And what's that? Being married to Fola Shade Tinubu, the oldest daughter of President Bola Tinubu. Nepotism is never good for optics after all, and the last thing Tinubu needs is another scandal. The Nigerian president has been racking up controversies ever since he took office. The last one was about an oil field, an offshore oil block called OPL 245. It was a disputed field bought by European oil giants Eni and Shell. There were corruption allegations. Nigeria had sued the oil companies. The case was pending in international tribunals. But last month, the president of Nigeria restored the fields to the Europeans. He ended all legal disputes over the offshore field and called for the matter to be resolved amicably. Now, you can choose to look at this as Tinubu moving forward, as him dropping a long dispute and getting back to business. Or you may wonder about the timing. Eni, one of the European oil firms involved here, signed another deal recently. This happened a few months ago. They sold their Nigerian onshore assets to a local firm, a firm called Onado PLC. The sale was very beneficial for the Nigerian oil company. Its total oil reserves doubled after it bought Eni's assets. And guess who is the chief executive of the Onado Group? A man called Adewale Tinubu, or Wale as he's popularly known. The last name is not a coincidence. He is related to the Nigerian president too. He's the president's nephew. So a European oil company sells its business to Tinubu's nephew. The nephew's company benefits, and Nigeria drops litigation against the European soon after. What does that sound like to you? Allegations of nepotism and corruption are hounding the president. But that's not all. He's also been accused of using his office for personal gain, using it to fund a luxurious lifestyle, like with the yacht controversy. Tinubu became president last year. He took office in the month of May. His government had to release a supplementary budget to allocate resources for this year, and this happened in November. The budget came in November. But while the budget was being discussed, an anomaly came to light. Money was earmarked for a presidential yacht, a princely sum of 5 billion naira. That's about $3.5 million US. Now, Nigeria is an economic powerhouse, but it's still a developing nation. There is massive wealth inequality. People are struggling with the cost of living crisis and reeling after the government reduced fuel subsidies last year. In this environment, President Bola Tinubu was buying a yacht on the taxpayers' dime. You can imagine the uproar. Nigerians were furious. So were opposition lawmakers. They forced the government to divert the yacht money. It was funneled into a student loan fund instead. But you see, the yacht had already been delivered by then to the Nigerian Navy. So now they have to find a way to pay for the luxury boat. And these are just some of the controversies that have dogged Tinubu since he took office. There are others as well. And by the looks of it, there will be more to come. Hopefully, Nigeria will continue to progress despite the extravagance of its president and the enrichment of his family.
They can progress, my dear. They cannot progress. Hope. That's why we say hope is not a strategy. She ended by saying that hopefully Nigeria will continue to progress. Progress from where to where? When your bank account is leaking, how are you going to progress? We'll pull up. We'll pull up, we'll pull up the next video. And these are for people that didn't listen to the news of the week. What is going on? While you're sleeping, while you're praying, while you're calling on God, accusing your mother of holding your destinies and all kinds of stuff. These people are busy swallowing your money and trying to turn your country into an Islamic state. And they're coming for you. Whether you ate noodles with them at the dormitory or you slept with them in the same bunk bed, they are coming. And when they come, they will start with you because they know you're willing to sell your brother. So they can't trust you. You cannot be in their camps. You will be their first casualty. Let's pull up the next video.
Britain turned up with a proposition for how to manage the situation for him and gave him dotted lines to sign for the oil and gas assets of Eastern Nigeria. That was how the entire oil and gas assets of the Eastern Nigeria of the time was consigned, was conveyed, was given away to Britain. It was illicit head of state, Yakubu Gowon, trying to validate himself in office, that signed off. Of course, Britain now went to Security Council, gave some members portions of the concession from that 100%. They took out 40%, gave other members of the UN Security Council of the time. Find out how Gulf Oil came here. Find out how Egypt got here. Find out how Elf got here. It was from taking the portion that Britain gave to them so that they can come and beat down the owners of the assets. We are back to that same situation in which an illicit, an illegitimate president has been coronated, and in an attempt to validate himself, he's signing off on all kinds of things that a president that is mandated by the people will not do. We hear about the gas pipeline they're going to build to Morocco. At a time we have not settled. Look at this map, the dot in circle. Let those who are clapping and cheering about how the $11 billion could be earned per annum from selling the gas of Eastern Nigeria. Let those who are rejoicing now find out whether the owners of that asset are on the table of that discussion. Or is it all these illicit things that will gang up for the second time in one generation to sell off the future of a people? It's not going to happen. The people you are talking to, the Kellogg and Co. that will do that pipeline, oh, you are trying to tell us that it is in the offshore of 60 kilometers of Akwa Ibom offshore that you are going to get gas. You don't know, you are the one that is illiterate in the subject matter. Some of us who were in the field, some of us who know how TSKJ became LNG can tell you exactly where the gas deposits are. We can tell you the routes from where you can pipe to anywhere. And so the pretense that, oh yes, we've found new investors who have confidence, you know, look at the kind of spokesmen, look at the kind of people surrounding this fellow as government of Federation of Nigeria. The hood does not make the monk, but it appears that in Nigeria, the hood is making the monk. Election 2023, presidential election 2023, inconclusive. Product of that election, illegitimate. This period, interregnum. You can take that to the bank.
Yep, you can definitely take that to the bank. And our people are sleeping while the interregnum president sign off their assets, buy himself a yacht, billions of dollars, when our people are starving. And his Western cronies are acting as if, oh, nothing is happening. Anyway, why would we trust them? These are the same people that said that Pakistani election is good, that it was competitive, when it was a clear-cut servant of democracy. And everybody was watching it. So why would we believe what they're telling us now? They have never ever spoken the truth. They will never speak the truth because you, the indigenous peoples, are watching them. You're allowing them to play a fast one on you. So we're going to start off with our topic today, which is hope is not a strategy, prayer is not a strategy. Nigeria is sitting on a sinking sand. Hope is not a strategy because you can listen to our sister when she was done giving that story on Tinubu. She said, let's hope and Nigeria will continue to survive. Nigeria will not survive. And no amount of prayer by your fake religious leaders will change the outcome. Because guess what? You are sitting on a sinking sand. So prayer is not a substitute for work, thinking, watching, suffering, or giving. Prayer is a support for all other efforts. And this is according to George Otto Buttricks. So when you are lying to yourself that the prayer will get you out of your quagmire, then you will know that you have another thing coming for you. So Nigeria is a country with immense potential. We have lots of cultural diversity, rich resources. We have wonderful heritages, but yet we have this level of struggle, challenges that resemble something that is standing on a quicksand. As a nation, we are facing economic disparities, corruption, inadequate infrastructures, among others. And we relying solely on hope without concrete plans may hinder or will hinder our progress. So even though prayer is essential, it should never it should always be a complementary effort. Nigeria as a nation, I don't even know what to call that place, as a major geographical expression, it needs effective governance, which we don't have. It needs economic reform, constitutional takedown, social development. They don't have any of that. So therefore, in order for us to move forward, we must address all those grievances that we have identified as NINAs. You guys know it. We show you guys what needs to be done in order for us to even begin to move forward. So we know that history does not repeat itself only when reckless and ill-informed people make negative history to repeat. As we are watching an illicit and illegitimate president, a power grabber, he told us it's his turn. It's my turn, oh, it's my turn, oh. I gave all the money for the previous one. It's my turn. He is signing off. He is signing off all the assets of indigenous peoples so that he can legitimize himself. That's all he's doing. So that the criminals partner, the criminal partners do not come for him. As we are watching, he's selling off our assets, he's mortgaging the future of our children and causing poverty to deepen amongst our communities. We watch how Gowon did it in 1966 and 1975. And those that are repeating it today, you guys will not go for free. Why? Because the owners of the land, the ones that owns the asset that you guys are dividing amongst yourself, they are now awake and they are equipping themselves with the tools that they need to take back their destiny and their sovereignty. So you colonial monsters, you British criminal enterprises, whatever you call yourself, we are watching. So this is not the time that you guys showed up and have somebody sign some type of amalgamation or whatever. And nobody knew who signed in Ohio was signed. We are coming for you. We know what you know. You're just a mere criminal. That's all we're criminals. That's all you guys are. So do not be deceived by the hope and prayers that their criminal partners known as religious leaders are going around telling our people continue to pray. We showed you guys pictures of your Daddy Gio. Nigeria will become dollar and will go over, Naira will take over dollar next year. Nigeria will turn into European nation next year. We saw all their fake, what is it called? Fake possibilities of things that can happen. And we know none of their prayers or none of their so-called testimonies will come to pass for you. So let's do the right thing. And the right thing is to do what? Follow Nina's agenda. JJ is there for you. If you follow Nina's agenda, you will dismantle this criminality and take back your sovereignty. So we are going to start today with our PowerPoint, and I will put that up while my sister add to what we are saying today. Oh, what happened?
It knocked me off. I don't know what happened, but it's fine.
Yeah, somebody was helping me. Yes, prophecies, not testimonies, prophecies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
prophecies, yes.
Yeah. So what happened to you? You fell off?
Yeah, I fell off. So I was waiting, but I was in the background, so I was following. Yeah.
Yeah. So text me next time so that I can.
So I didn't want to distract you. You were firing. So I'm like, no, I'll wait here. It's fine.
All right. So let me pull up the PowerPoint of the
Yeah.
day.
Please continue to help us to share, like, and subscribe. We are here to finish this work. Like my sister said, it cannot be business as usual. If they did it before and went away with it, this time around, they're not going to go away with it because the owners of the assets being carted away are weak, and we are waking them up, and they're coming. They're waking up. They're waking up. My people, Sina, okay, adiata aqua onye mwanya. That means the rat does not the wrapper of somebody that is awake. And that's why in Nigeria we say shine your eyes. If you're shining your eyes, they will not dupe you.
Nope, they will not dupe you.
Nina's matters are rising.
Go ahead.
Everyone knows Nigeria is in trouble. Willing tools, that is, the political class that enforced the fraudulent 1999 constitution, are fleeing to USA and UK, leaving the masses to suffer that Nigeria that they have killed. Yes, that's from Nina's Matters are Rising. Thank you so much, people. Thank you.
All right. Please continue to help us to share. We are getting sense, so big sense. And we want to thank those that are working for us at home, those that are going from door to door, churches to churches, neighborhood to neighborhood, and educating our people. We appreciate you. But like we said, we are partners in all of this. So you are doing your part. We all have a role to play. So let's continue to play that role because we are getting to our destination one way or the other. Slideshow. All right, Nigeria. Hope is not a strategy. Prayer is not a strategy. Nigeria is sitting on a sinking sand. We just don't want you guys to wake up one day and find out you're 6 feet under without you even knowing how that happened. We are telling you that you have to end the so-called Nigeria before it ends you, because that's the only outcome. If we don't end Nigeria as is currently constituted, you will be ended by Nigeria before you know it. So our objective today is to look at the challenges faced by the unitary Nigeria under 1999 Constitution. We are going to look at the facts about Nigeria, the hypocrisy of those trying to build on a quicksand. And they are not even there to build on a quicksand. What's going to happen? They all have flight out for all their children and their mothers and their sisters and everybody else. And then we'll look at our take-home points as well as Nina's 5-point agenda. We cannot move forward without reminding our people that we live in an estate of Usman Dan Fodio. And you heard their son.
The slide is not rolling.
Huh?
The slide is not rolling. We're still on the first page of the slide.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Let me go back.
No, can you go to objective first? Okay, so that we'll just capture. Okay.
Are you seeing the objectives?
Yeah, I've seen it now. So you can go to the next one. It's fine.
Okay. Are you still seeing it? Are you still seeing it now?
Yes, I'm still seeing it.
Okay. So okay. So here's the objectives. So you can take a look. Like I said before, is the challenges faced by unitary 1999 Constitution, facts about Nigeria, the hypocrisy of those trying to build on a quicksand, and then the take-home point as well as Nina's 5-point agenda. And we cannot move forward without reminding our people that we live under the Usman Dan Fodio's estate. And you cannot move forward.
Next slide, please. It's not playing today.
It's not playing.
Yeah, next slide. It's not even going by itself. Yes, you have to be doing it manually. Okay.
Are you seeing it now?
I'm seeing it now, yes.
Weird. Okay. I'll leave it in this format, maybe that would be ideal. So anyway, yeah. So the son is on Twitter telling you guys that you're nobody. They're going to turn you into an Islamic nation. They have the army, they have the God and the devil all by themselves, by their side. They have taken over, and there's nothing you can do about it. This is how bold they are now on air, public telling you how sold out that you are. So keep lying to yourself. Let's look at the challenges faced by the unitary Nigeria under 1999 constitution. We know there's political instability, corruption, economic disparities, security concern, which contribute to complex landscape that we are seeing. Political instability marked by frequent changes in leadership. Should we say selection? There are yearly every 4 year selection, power struggles, and sometimes unpredictable political climate. This uncertainty, of course, impedes our long-term planning because we can move forward and hinders effective governance. So when you bring someone who I remember during Jonathan, they were saying, oh, Nigeria is doing well, and this, it was even on CNN. All of a sudden, they make sure that they tweak him out. And then since they brought whoever they want to bring back, Obama and his group sent his political campaign leader to go over and help Buhari to win the election. We know how everything has been going downwards. Corruption is another layer of sinking sand, right? Because it's deeply rooted in various sectors. So with all their stupid efforts, all their anti-corruption efforts, we know that has not helped any of us. The people that are in charge of anti-corruption are corrupt themselves. We've caught so many of them.
It's it's cosmetic things now. They're not fighting any corruption. How can you give a bowl of fish to a pack of rats and say, okay, watch this dry fish for us?
Right? So watch the dry fish and see what will happen to you and the dry fish. So they are doing all these things to, make the public think they are doing anything. And while we're doing this, they are impeding economic growth, and they are diverting resources away from essential services. There's also economic disparities that add to this complexity, and portion of our people are facing poverty, limited access to education and healthcare. We are lacking everything. In terms of security, there's insurgency, ethnic tensions, criminal activities. And we know that when these things, these things are a common denominator, right? Because when you have hunger, you have the other people on the other side, the church telling you it's your mother holding you hostage instead of telling you the government is not working. And then you have your brothers and sisters fighting to get access to the same little amount of food that is in the neighborhood. You can see how a lot of tension will take place. A lot of people will result into doing different things in order to survive. So we know that these challenges, they strain the social fabric. They create an environment of fear. And of course, economically, we are hindered. The result of this instability, once again, it deters foreign investment. That's why, if you recall, during the last 2 or 3 weeks in our show, we showed you how these so-called criminal investors are taking out more than they're putting in. They put in $1,000, they will take out $100 million. And it's impeding our economic growth. As the security concern is growing, people are not even coming home anymore to spend money. It's people that come outside. If you look at other countries, Kenya now is giving free visa for people to come into their country, because when people come in, they come and spend money. Your economy grow, you sell your product, you make money. So you cannot be in an atmosphere where people are running away from where you are. You're already in trouble economically. Now you are creating a situation people cannot come to your locality. And that's how the whole thing will never get any better. Of course, there is hunger everywhere. When there is hunger, there's a huge implication on national insecurity. People are getting tired. We saw a brother online saying that it will result to a point where they will stay on the street. If they see anybody, any big man, they will bring you out from your car and deal with you squarely right there. No law. And we're telling you, it does not have to be that way. Nigeria is sitting on a sinking sand. It does not have to be that way. So in January 15th of 1966, we know that the military attempted revolution.
So these are facts. Listeners,
Right.
These are facts about Nigeria. As we are telling you the things going on, there are certain things that are facts that anybody, if you want life from now to tomorrow, they will not change and they will not change. So there are facts about Nigeria. Please go ahead.
Right. Go ahead. I'll let you go ahead. There's something happening in the background.
Oh, okay. So, like my sister said, January 15th, 1966, military attempted revolution. And this revolution was aimed at stopping the agenda to make Nigeria an Islamic republic. You know, one of the, because we had about 21 young officers, excuse me, one of them, Major Nzogu, 28 years old only. For those that are jumping up and down, calling yourself youths, and you are not trying to find out what is going on. Nzogu was only 28 years old. When they noticed military intelligence, and they got this intelligence that this is what is about to happen, in their own way, with limited information they had, they acted. So this Nzogu became the leader of the Supreme Council of Revolution in Kaduna, in northern region. He was not even in eastern region. For you to know that they were acting in the name of like trying to save Nigeria, that they thought they were here to come and build. They were not trying to do any other thing. They wanted to save Nigeria from becoming an Islamic republic because they got that information. That happened January 15th, 1966. This is a fact. There's nothing, if you want life from now to turn things around, it cannot change because it has happened and it's fixed. It's not like when we were in secondary school, when they were trying to teach us history. They say one man swallowed a snake. Then they say snake swallowed the man. They say they were not sure whether it's the man that swallowed the snake or snake swallowed the man. I say people are lying. So these are facts. Now, the action, as of that time, the action group leader and the winner of the post-independent election, Chief Awolowo, he had been in prison since 1963. Who imprisoned him? We are saying this for people that want to know the truth, to go and begin to research and get out information. Don't allow yourself to be bamboozled with lies and propaganda, because at the end of all this, truth will surface. And then guess who will be put to shame? Those that have been growing themselves in lies and marinating themselves in lies. So he had been in prison since 1963. Who imprisoned him? Why did they imprison him? So these young guys, military officers, were looking to bring him out because they saw what was going on and no, this is not going anywhere. They intervened. It was also known that Britain, the Caliphate, and the Yoruba people, they knew that what happened was not Igbo in the manner it was twisted to the public by BBC. Those that lived that time knew the truth before BBC started twisting the truth to deceive our people.
Which they have confessed to,
Yes.
that interfered in all the affairs of every nation.
Exactly. So see where we are now. So it was a deliberate distortion to set up a false narrative to justify the mass elimination and therefore the containment of the Igbo nation in Nigeria, because they already saw that Ndi Igbo were beginning to grow and flourish and subsequently probably get out of control of the colonialists, Britain and Caliphate. So they were looking for what to use to contain that flourish, that growth. Just like in Egypt, they said that when in those that are reading Bible, he said when they saw Israel flourishing and growing, they said, these people will grow out of hand. What do we do? Pharaoh said every male child should be killed and exterminated. So these people, that's what they saw, and then say, okay, we will use for a lie. And they saw the opportunity and used that lie to kill Ndi Igbo. And 3.5 million civilians, we're not talking of military, civilians were massacred. 2 million children starved to death in what we call Biafra genocide. These are facts. For those that want to lie from now to Jericho, these are facts on the ground. These are the facts that Nigeria is trying to build on. These are things in the foundation of the so-called country you're trying to build. We want to give you one note. You see, the 1966 attempted revolution, what made that revolution to come is still going on today. It has not changed. That Islamic Republic that is coming, they are still coming, they are still working with the agenda. You heard the video, the audio that we played from Twitter, where they said they have captured the military, the navy, the everything, Aso Rock, everything, that they have taken everything and they are coming. So that agenda that started 200 years ago, they've not stopped, they're coming with it. And the 1966 attempted revolution was done by dissatisfied and disgruntled young military officers. But you know what? What is coming this time around will be by the impoverished masses, the now enlightened indigenous peoples of Nigeria who have run out of patience, the criminal politicians, and of course, their partners in crime, the criminal mega church owners, because they are working together. They have shown us in every way that they are in partnership with these people. They are the willing tools being used to destroy our people. If you see everything they're doing, all the mega church owners, without any exception, all of them, they belong to a cult. They are not working for Christ. They are not working for God. They are working for the enemy. And they have shown it in every aspect of
and so-called their mosque too. They are doing their own business.
And the mosques, that together, of course. The mosque is the main tool they're using. The mosque is where they keep all the ammunition, where they groom the people, the poor people that they will use for the food soldiers. Then the mega church owners are the ones sent to hold the masses down, brainwash them, whatever that will happen to them.
While you're fasting and prayer, you put your neck down on the table for them to.
Yes, and they reward them, handsomely reward them with the universities, mega auditorium, businesses that are building, their children traveling abroad and coming out and going out. You can see the reward. So you understand what we are saying, that they are in partnership with whatever that is happening. We're talking about facts on the ground. We're talking about facts, not things that you go and verify and check. Another thing is, on January 16th, 1966, Major General Aguiyi Ironsi honored an invitation by the then Ministerial Council to head the provincial federal military government and to restore order. He was invited to do an assignment. Just like we're telling you people that, okay, by the time the transitioning will start, that you have a framework that people, the transition team will have a limited time, have an agenda, will be given a mandate, and it will have a framework, and you say, this is what you're coming to do, and they will do it and go. It won't be any type of a long-lasting government. No. So it was provincial federal military government. Aguiyi Ironsi, what he was, the assignment given to him was clear to him. He was coming to restore order because there was just a coup that happened and so many things were going wrong. So he was invited as a senior military officer to come and restore order. He was doing his work. It's not because he was an Igbo man. No, it's the military doing their thing. So when he came in, he suspended the parliament, offices of parliament, prime minister, regional government, premiers, and regional legislatures. And then he named military governors for each region with their ex-governors as advisors. Are you seeing continuity? Are you seeing somebody that is clear-minded in what he came to do? Are you seeing the work of an intelligent, trained military officer trying to restore order, not to cause chaos? He did not destroy the regions. He did not take the autonomy of the people away. He did not destroy the independence, the indigenous people's autonomy. He did not do that. He remained, left things the way they were, and just got military officers in place. And then for continuity, he made the ex-governors to be advisors, guiding them so that we will not have loopholes, so there will not be vacuum, so there will not be chaos. He did not suspend the federation and the regions. He didn't do that. Rather, he fortified the regions and then to help them to restore order. In his broadcast, he said that the army will guarantee the safety of all members of the Council of Ministers, an executive body appointed by the president. He pledged that the army would maintain law and order in the federation until a constitution could be drawn in accordance with the wishes of the people. He was mindful of the indigenous peoples. He did not come in to go and start doing anything anyhow. He respected the people's wishes because he knew we were people of diverse ethnicity, diverse religious background, and he was not coming to neutralize all that. His assignment was clear, and he was set to do that. Another fact on ground is Gowon's Decree 14. Please, the next slide. It was Gowon's Decree 14, not Ironsi's Decree 34, that fractured the Nigerian Federation into 12 states. Please, the next slide, Simona. It was Gowon's
You're not
Decree
seeing
14.
it?
No, just to go to the next one. Yeah. So it was Gowon's Decree 14. Ironsi made Decree 34 for order to restore, because there was just coup and there was chaos everywhere. So to restore order, he made Decree 34. The Decree 34 is just because military lead by decrees. So he just put that one in place, just a governing document to help him restore order. He was not interested in bringing down structures and destroying or stealing the resources of the people. However, it was Gowon's Decree 14 that changed everything, fractured the regions. And it wasn't like they just created splits. The way they did it was maliciously done. It was balkanization, a continuation of what the colonial masters did 1884-85 when they balkanized Africa. That was what Gowon did, because he was just a young, randy guy, reckless, that didn't know where he was going. But because he had grabbed power, anything they told him to do, he did. Anything the colonial masters told him to do, he did. So you will get in the Igbo now, fracture them. One we go to Rivers, one we go to Benue, one we go to this, so that people will become political minorities. And they will never gather voice again to do anything that will end colonialism. Because now the colonial masters were ready with their new colonial project. So they needed a puppet. They needed a randy guy that entered illegitimately, didn't know his left from it. This guy wasn't even married. He was in the midst of it that they were not finding wife.
I am angry, woman. That's sad.
So do you people see how we are sitting on a sinking sand? How we do not have a foundation? We are trying to build on a sinking sand. And hope is not a strategy. Prayer is not a strategy. If you build your house on sand, that's what Yeshua HaMashiach said. He said, if you build your house on sand, on a sinking sand, he said, when wind comes, it will blow everything off. And there's nothing your prayer can do. There's nothing your help can do. There's nothing, God forbid, Jesus, the blood of Jesus. He cannot do anything, because they say, when the foundation is wrong, there's nothing the righteous can do. It's over. Can you people read your Bible that you're carrying? Can you stop reading your so-called men of God? Because Christians in Nigeria do not read Bible. They read the books written by their so-called criminal men of God. That's why they don't have wisdom. If you read the scriptures the way you're supposed to read it, you will develop wisdom. But you're not reading the scriptures. What you're reading is your men of God. What you're worshiping is your men of God. What you're praying to is your men of God. You see why you are where you are, and you will never come out except you denounce these kingdoms of evil men, and embrace the kingdom of God. The kingdom of God is talking about justice, fairness, equity, of course, restitution and atonement. Because you cannot commit evil and then expect that you continue to build and everything will go well with you. It will never happen. You are building on the blood of 2 million innocent children, and your own children, you will pay with their blood. That is what we're saying. No hope will save you. No prayer will save you. If you want, what is that man's name? Emmanuel Bosun. If you want, pray from morning till night. It will not save you. Go on. If you want Nigeria praise, you pray from morning till night. It will not save, because God has already said that it's not that his ear is deaf that he cannot hear you, or that his hands are too short that he cannot save you, but it's your iniquity that is covering you from him, that he's not even seeing you, let alone hear you. So Gowon's Decree 14, once again, not Ironsi's Decree 34, fractured the Nigerian Federation into 12 states. Of course, Tony Nadi, you can see the credit of every, that's the decree there. We are not reading it. You can go and read it. It's online. It's not hidden. Is there anybody that wants to find the truth is out there. Talking about facts about Nigeria. So after 54 years, my people, and after the massacre of over 3.5 million innocent civilians, General Yakubu Gowon came to live TV to confess, admitting that he started the Nigerian Biafra on civil war. Not Ojukwu, that he started it. So he lied for 54 years. Now he's about to enter his grave because he knows the ancestors will flog him back. He's beginning what we call asesa. He's beginning to confess. But it's not that he has repented. He just, I don't know how the word came out of his mouth. So as the Nigerian head of state between 1966 and 1975, it was Yakubu Gowon that started the so-called civil war, which we call is on civil war. There's nothing civil about that Biafra genocide. A genocide cannot be a civil war. It is genocide, and it must be recognized and atoned for. If you want, pray from now till 200 years to come. It will be atoned for. That atonement must be done. He said this while encouraging Tifunubu, another power grabber, not to listen to Nigerians. He said that it's normal for Nigerians to wail, complain, and make noise. And they will do nothing. So he should keep doing what he's doing and going where they should not listen to them. That's how they were making noise 54 years ago when he started the civil war, on the civil war. And then they were saying that it will not. That, did he not succeed? He succeeded in massacring Ndibo and destroying their property. So that's the success for Gowon. This is a fact we are working with, my people. Working with. That is what Nigeria is being built on. We told you Nigeria is sitting on a sinking soil, sinking sand. That's what Nigeria is sitting on. Another fact, neither the 1979 Constitution nor the 1999 Constitution was made or enacted by we the people. Like we have explained to you severally, Constitution means the constituent members of that nation or that country coming together to say, this is how we want to live together. These are the terms and the conditions. 1999 Constitution was not made by the people. 1979 Constitution was not made by the people. They were both imposed. This some abracadabra. Of course, this was published May 16, 2021 by Tony Nadi. Nigeria erected itself on a pile of lies and shall collapse like a pack of cards at the re-emergence of truth. Facts. We are dealing with facts. Another fact we are looking at is where we are now under 1999 Constitution, where we have got ourselves. Look at this map. As we speak, the states, 12 contiguous states in the north, is now Sharia territory. As we speak, this is not they say. These are facts on the table that will not change except you do something different. So the place in yellow, Arewa bloc, was first to secede from the Nigerian Union by unilaterally taking up Sharia. They by themselves decided that they will not be ruled by the 1999 Constitution anymore, that it has to be Sharia. My people indeed, but that's why when you get there to do business of alcohol, they will break it, destroy it, because it's no more one Nigeria. They have moved on. They have seceded. That's why they had the effrontery to introduce Sharia in this yellow place you're saying. So it's now a Sharia territory. There's nothing anybody, the law has been passed. So, and Ninas is saying that this is in repudiation of the 1999 Constitution and in self-determination. That means they have done their own self-determination. They decided by themselves and say, okay, you know what? We are going to live by Sharia and not the 1999 Constitution. So they have got their own self-determination. They have left Nigeria. So that's why when you see them getting all the assets of Ndi Igbo at the crude, sharing it among themselves, squandering it, because it's not, they have left. They are building their own houses and whatever they are building with your own assets. So the part in white is the non-Sharia territory. And they have formed alliance. That is the Ninas Alliance. As organized by Ninas. Ninas Alliance is what organized the part in white, the non-Sharia rest of Nigeria. They are now proceeding to get their own self-determination through union renegotiation. Ninas is writing, it says, as the general officer commanding, Ironsi was the head of the army at the time of the aborted coup of January 15, 1966. Thank you for that input. So, we have told you the facts on the ground. It's not like something torn. It's something that you will go, because that's not about facts. If you go and look, you will see this. That's why I like science. If you say 2 molecules of hydrogen and 1 molecule of water, oxygen will give you water. Anywhere you go, do it. So far, the conditions are the same. You get the same thing. That's the thing about facts. So you go and check, verify. So facts are verifiable. If you go and look, you see the same thing. Except your eye is blind. If it's not blind, if you open your eye, it's the same thing you will see. So we talk about the hypocrisy of trying to build on a quicksand. It must be a hypocrite for you to open your eyes and say you want to build a skyscraper on a quicksand. You're not ready. You're not ready to build. You're lying to yourself. And it's only hypocrites that do that. So you keep trying to build on sinking sand. And you wonder why your country is not as successful as other countries built by reasonable human beings. Does that make sense? No, talk to yourself. Because we come here to talk to ourselves. We try to talk sense to ourselves because we are natives. We are the indigenous peoples. By yourself, you're building on a sinking sand. And then you're surprised that your structure is not coming out like some other people that are reasonable, that made up their mind to build their own nation on a solid foundation. You chose quicksand. And then, bravo, you're saying, hey, well, why is my own building not being like the one that those people are building? Does that make sense? We are telling you that your babbling and flippant prayer is waste of time. It's not getting to God. You're just like blah, 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 blah. And I remember Yeshua said, you should not be like that. That if you want to follow him, You should not be somebody that is just flippant with words, say you're praying. You should be reasonable in your prayer. When you want to pray, the essence of prayer is communication. You are discussing with a superior being that you feel knows better than you, and you're discussing the issues on the table. He's supposed to talk back to you. If you are deaf and dumb and you're just like blah, 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 there's no prayer going on. You're just deceiving yourself and wasting people's time. When you pray, God will speak to you, give you ideas to solve your problem. Then you now go and do the thing and go and walk. Like my sister said, you are going at the introduction. Walking, you need to walk. You need to do the things you are told to do. If you're not doing it and you're just sitting there, blah, 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 you're wasting your time. You're deceiving yourself and deceiving everybody. And you're a hypocrite. If you stole from someone, your Bible says you need to return it. That is restitution and atonement. If you have stolen the resources of the indigenous peoples, the starting point is to turn around and say, Biko, take your thing that I stole from you. It does not belong to me. There's no land called Nigerian land. All the lands, the ancestral lands, belong to the indigenous peoples. It is their land. You lying from morning till night because you want to steal it and use it to go and do a wedding that will cost you $7 billion. It will not change anything. You are a thief. And it's annoying when you now know you're a thief and you call yourself a Christian and a follower of Christ, and you're not understanding that you need to do atonement and do restitution. I wonder who you're worshiping. Nigeria has stolen from the indigenous nationalities and erected itself on a pack of lies. The mega church owners and their political friends are still stealing from Nigerians. We were told that one mega church papa used 41 million naira to sponsor one state governor, be one politician. The yes daddy politicians. Now you think about it. After investing 41 million, every tithe coming from that state goes to him. Have you seen the business they're doing? The kalu business they're doing? That's why they bring them into the church, pour granite oil on their head and say God has chosen them, where God has not spoken. They will get their own cuts. So when they pour the oil, then they go behind and put 41 million, sponsor them, put them in the position. How do you think the so-called politician will work for you? He has to pay his papa. Have you people seen why we say that these mega church owners are not from God? They are interested in building their business empires, their personal kingdom, not the kingdom of God. That is why you are hungry. Because the money that they should use to build infrastructure for you, build your road, your water, and everything, they are giving to papas and mamas. And they're using to buy private jets, build universities, build their private hospitals, and everything they're doing. It will never change. But we look into the scripture, because we like bringing scriptures to you since you are Christians and you're very religious. Okay, let's look at religion. Luke 19, 8 to 10. Zacchaeus, a tax collector. At that time, tax collectors were working like this mega church owners. They were the willing tools against the people of Israel. Rome colonized Israel. So they put some willing tools, like the tax collectors, that go and collect money for them from their people and give to the colonizers, the Romans. So Zacchaeus was someone like that. Zacchaeus was someone like Adeboye, someone like Oyedepo, Paul Adafarati, or whatever they are, Dara, and Paul and Nenche. All those people are tax collectors. That's all the tithe they're collecting from you. They're tax collectors. So Zacchaeus was a tax collector. And when he encountered Yeshua, he stood up and said, "Look, Lord, here and now, I give half of my possessions to the poor. And if I have cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay back 4 times the amount. And Yeshua said to him, today, salvation has come to this house. Not yesterday. Today that you have done this restitution, salvation has come to your house. So because this man is a son of Abraham. You become son of Abraham when you do the right thing. So the Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost. Adeboye, Oyedepo, all you fathers of iniquity, can you begin to think of restitution and atonement? And stop.
You mean they have to return their jets?
They have to. Where we are now, they don't have choice. They don't have choice. But you're not going to return it to the hands of criminal partners, because it's like taking from here to give to here. You take from thief A.
Yeah, they have to return and get the money and share amongst the masses.
No, that's not it. We have to do the returning from beginning, from returning the land, returning. So you have to embrace Ninas for you to show us that you are serious and you are ready to begin to do atonement. You have to embrace Nina's proposition so that we can take the resources back to the people. We are talking about the hypocrisy of trying to build on a quicksand. We'll look at the next slide. Prayers for a Nigeria that is anchored upon a satanic constitutional order is an abomination in the sight of God.
Yep.
This is an epistle to the church in Nigeria. Those that say, oh, Tony Nadi, have you told the church? Oh, Daddy did not know. Mama did not know. They did not hear. They are deaf and dumb. All this thing going on, they are not hearing it because they are deaf and dumb. So much communication has happened. They've been told. Everything has been explained to them. This particular epistle was sent to them August 11, 2022. So it's left for you, the people, to go and ask them, what did you do with this epistle? This particular epistle? This is just one of the communication, the material sent to them. This is just one of it. He told them, as they are calling for prayers, he said prayers for a Nigeria that is anchored upon a satanic constitutional order. The constitutional order that confiscated the properties of the people, tied their hands and their legs. He says it's an abomination.
It is.
God. It's like you're playing with the brain of God. And God just look at you and say, look at this, a leaf. What is this one doing? You ask Angel Michael. He said, who is that one making noise? He says, Adeboyo. He said, what is that stupid one saying? He said, they're talking, I don't know what he's saying. He said, next chapter. As you hope and pray, Afghanistan is loading in Nigeria. It's coming. Why you are allowing yourself to be deceived? Pray, hope, Nigeria shall be great. Amen. Nigeria, dollar shall be 1 naira. And this one, amen. As you're doing all those things you're doing,
it's loading.
And
there's only one way out. Is loading.
There's only one way out. Reject the 1999 Constitution that enables the agents of Islamic Republic of Nigeria. They are coming. But the only reason they are able to have guns and have access to your land and to your people is because of 1999 Constitution. So if you are serious, you must get this, your criminal mega church owners, to begin to reject the 1999 Constitution openly, not under their table, not inside their cabinet. Come out and say Ninas is right. The 1999 Constitution is what is killing our people. Just come out and make that statement. Then we might begin to listen to you. Reject the indigenous willing tools who enforce the 1999 Constitution. Anybody that is swearing or has sworn to uphold the 1999 Constitution and is still planning to get people that are swearing to 1999 position into position, all these are willing tools. Church owners, musical influencers, Hollywood actors, celebrities with big nash and big whatever they're bigging, so-called politicians, elite, all of them still holding on to this book of Lucifer, the constitutional order called 1999 Constitution that turned federation into one man's business that people can put inside pocket and be making decisions with his wife and all his family members. You saw the video we showed you. Everybody, all his cousins and nephew. I even met one of the days that I traveled. He was saying, yeah, I just came back from Nigeria. We went to install my uncle. I was looking at him and said, how I wish I have a tapiapia. And I think that's what you'd have received from me. But I just kept quiet. I said, no problem. I said, okay. We just did party. Say yes. It's okay. No problem. Begin to demand for transitioning, for constitutional renegotiation. Watch our words. It's so simple. If you can be praying, bra, bra, gara, bra, gara, this thing I'm saying now, you should be able to understand it. If frequency is not living in your head, it's not difficult. Pay attention. If you're doing freedom fighting, if you're doing church going, whatever it is you're doing, and you live in that space called Nigeria, listen for what you need to demand for. Not answers, not this, not that. Demand for transitioning, for constitutional renegotiation, reconfiguration, reconstruction. These three. It must happen in this order. Then we will begin to show ourselves that we are not hypocrites, that we are ready to get to the foundation and begin to put things right so that we can build like other nations, those nations that you are jumping into. Somebody built them. People sat down and built their nation. That's why you're getting visa going there. Let's sit down and fix our own foundation so that we can build where people can also visit. On Abua Road, that if white man visit your land too, is it abomination if white men come in your land, visit properly, not the one that are visiting to come and steal things. No. Come and sit down and follow law and order. Is it abomination? So we have to do it.
Abomination indeed.
You and I, all of us must be responsible and do it together. Thank you very much.
Do they have a choice, my dear? Afghanistan is loading. Nigeria is sitting on a sinking sand. The more you waste our time, the more the effect is going to be more than what you imagined. So the earlier you begin to, soak in the information, understand what role you need to play, while the OIS or what is it called, Islamic,
OIC, Islamic Organization, countries or whatever.
Islamic Organization, yes, OIC. Why they are loading to swipe you into their OIC, my dear. Begin to receive sense.
Organization of Islamic countries.
Organization, okay. God has given us all the information that we need to make the right decisions. He has. So you know what's going to happen? When the time comes, he will be sleeping because you've done the work. Because you didn't listen. So it will be time for you to bear the consequences. The good thing about this whole thing that we're doing is that you will sit back and blame yourself. The evidence is there of the work that has been put in for you to get where you need to go. So our take-home point in that regard is for you to go tell your people that freedom is here. Being here, waiting on the front door. It's just that you refuse to open the door and say, hey, I don't like why is that person delivering the present? Why is it light skin and why is it dark skin? Why is he wearing glasses? Hey, I'm not going to open the door. The sooner you open the door and get that freedom, the better for you. You need to spread the gospel of the truth and freedom according to Ninas, to your family, friends and colleagues. So it's not reading the Bible, meeting for prayer meeting, going for Wednesday service, afternoon service, evening service, midnight, service. That's not going to do it for you because hope is not a strategy. Prayer is not a strategy. Nigeria is sitting on a sinking sand. Only the truth shall set you free. Only the truthful ones will survive what is coming because he's coming. He's coming. And guess what? You won't be the first. That's why you've heard that thing called world without end. You will be gone and the world will keep moving. I will be gone and it will keep moving. So no amount of your, I don't listen. You can't tell me, I don't want to hear, will save it. You will just go from ash to ash, right? From aja, soil to soil. You come from the sand and you return to the sand, and the world will move on. But what about your children? What plans and what intentions do you have for them? And that's why we're asking you guys for you to commit to a 5-point agenda. We typically bring this every week. This is what we need to do for us to build a nation that is not on a sinking sand. The first thing is that we need to acknowledge the constitutional grievances that we raise in the union dispute. We need to decommission the imposed fraudulent 1999 unitary constitution. We also want you guys to have no further elections, which you did. And there you are. Somebody is signing off your assets. The court case has been dismissed. The brother is now in charge. The brother-in-law and son-in-law is now in charge. Ndoli and Ndama, they are now in charge. While we are hungry, they are paying for yacht for $5 billion. Can you imagine the amount of yacht that is being paid for while you're hungry? And then while you're hungry, they're taking away subsidies. You know, they are giving it to you blow after blow. Because guess what? They are not there for you. They were never there for you. They will never work for you. What you're watching is criminal enterprise going on while you believe, while you put it to the Lord in prayer. The fourth thing is that we want constituent peoples of Nigeria to work out the modalities for transitioning. So that means everyone is given an opportunity to have their self-determination, to have their voice heard, to be part of the process. And last but not least is announcement of a timed two-state transitioning, with the first one being multi-regional referendums for the constituent components to recommit to or opt out of Nigerian Union. And in the second part, these two terms of union dictated by the outcome of the referendums. It's not that difficult. So while your pastor is telling you to turn to John chapter 7, verses 8, ask your pastor, have you turned to Nina's point, a 5-point agenda? Teach them, since they don't want to teach you. Like we said, they all have the information. They will come out every now and then. If they want to get popular, they will come out and say, Nina's is right, and then they will disappear. They will come out again and say, oh, Brother Tony, come speak in our church. You know, you shouldn't go to any further election because you are living in a fraudulent constitution. And then once Labour Party comes and give them money, they will say, oh, go get your PVC. Go get your PVC. God will do it for us. And then few days before election, they say, oh, God has given the, don't be disappointed. God has chosen the right person. Criminal enterprise.
God has chosen Saul. We'll get David later. Let's use the Saul first.
Hey, who did this to you guys?
Abracadabra.
Who did this to you guys? The most educated fools in the face of the universe. You see, your education didn't do anything for you. And when your education no number, because you're not using it to progress. You're not using it to progress. You're not using it to reason. You're not challenging people that are not making sense. We are watching a sister that left college because they were there telling her that slavery didn't happen. That 1 + 1 is 11. She said, oh no, at least I do know that 1 + 1 is 2. I'm out of here. Let me go and teach myself. But you so-called Nigerians, you've been educated for you to defraud yourselves. You've been educated for you to deny yourself good things. You've been educated to get visa and run away. That's what you've been educated for. When your education is supposed to help you serve your community, so that when you lift up, your brothers and sisters are up, everyone is doing well. They may not be at the same level, but everyone is doing well. And most people, that's what they're asking for. Some people are not asking to get yacht like Tinubu for 5 billion. All they want to know is that I have 2-year-old and 3-year-old, their brain is still growing. Can I please have enough food to give them so they don't have malnutrition? That's all they're asking for. They are saying, oh, I live in a house that doesn't have windows and doors. Can I go to sleep in it and wake up the next day without being attacked? That's all they're asking for. And we can't even afford them that much. And yet we are buying yachts for $5 billion. Yet we are spending 100 millions for weddings and all kinds of stuff. And people are dying of starvation. In our announcements, we are still coming up with the wisdom of our ancestors. We just have a lot going on in the background. Our sister is on point. She's always online on Smart African. and Clubhouse. Weekly, ever willing to teach our people that if you are driving to work, you can listen to her shows. You can listen to her blog and see what she's trying to teach you, so you can begin to receive sense. Drop that sabotage education that you got from Harvard, that you got from Yale, that told you to abandon your sisters and your brothers while you're making money in the World Bank. But that's what they teach you because you're one of them. Drop it. Go and listen to our sister, Smart African, and begin to receive sense. That if you are doing well and the rest of your brothers are not doing well, guess what? You have to be bringing an army to come to your village, Mumu. And on Tuesdays is our Twitter Tuesday. There's something you can do. This is one of the things you can do. Ninas is right. We stand with Ninas. Transition now. Begin to educate people around you as to what is going on. It's not your father. It's not your mother holding you on. I had a privilege of a family member that came to America, and he finally realized that it wasn't auntie wasn't stealing my destiny. Brother wasn't stealing my destiny. Grandfather wasn't holding my destiny. It was because he lived in a place where there's no opportunity. And the boy, he's so smart. And people are telling him at church that it's your auntie that doesn't want you to move forward. Now he's in America full of opportunities. He's thriving more than he can ever imagine with no help. And to learn more, please go to ninasvoice.org, the Daughters of Truth. Our Facebook is there. Our YouTube is there. We want to transition to Patreon. I'm going to put in the link for Patreon. If you can follow us there and join us there, that would be awesome. We want to be broadcasting through Patreon because we know what this other fake book and the rest of them are doing. They don't want you to receive sense. If I take out my clothes now and tell you I'm going to drop the towels, they will have 1 million people watching because they don't want you to know how to move forward in life, right? While they're deceiving you, every policy that is being made is affecting you. So they don't want you to know about policies and procedure, but they want you to know about things that will distract you while they are taking the money and they're chopping it by themselves. And last but not least, we insist on transition now. So we are going to invite one of our brothers that is doing some work for us. He wanted to come say hi to our people just to be encouraged. And we are encouraged. People are learning. People are learning every day. We definitely want to thank those that are going from classroom to classrooms and teaching our people. We appreciate you. We thank those that have bought projectors and, all kinds of stuff, laptops to do the teaching. We appreciate you. This is what we need to do to get to our destination. So I'm going to give him a few minutes to jump in. Sister, is he ready?
I think he's having problem with his network. He's living in the zoo.
Okay. Do you want to maybe do audio? You want him to call on the phone and do an audio?
We might just, if there's another person, anybody that wants to call, jump in, or say things,
Yeah, our sister Olukoya, she said, many thanks, my sisters, for counting the Ninas, for continuing the work of Ninas, resetting the brains of our people towards their freedom, emancipation, and ultimately their sovereignty as ethnic nationalities. Absolutely. This is one of our mothers. She is, oh my God, she's awesome. When you talk about consistency, she's the rock. She's the same yesterday and forevermore. That's this is the one we are seeing. Not them say, they say. She's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. And we appreciate her tenacity. These are the kind of people that we're looking for, not people that will go to Harvard, get a job at World Bank. They won't even tell us they are stealing from us. Instead, they will, get the grant ready so that their children can get job with World Bank when they are done. That's all they're doing, taking us in a circles. So if anybody wants to, actually, let me post the phone number. Are you working on him coming? Okay, looks like she's trying to call.
Yeah.
So this is our phone number here.
Yeah.
WhatsApp number. So if anybody wants to call quickly, we have 10 minutes left. You can call and make a contribution. And any of our sisters and brothers working at home, you are definitely welcome anytime to come and greet our people. We appreciate all that you're doing in the background. We definitely appreciate you. We are going. We are going. Oh, we are going. So this is not one of those people. And our car with engine. Our car has an engine. Okay, it's not the one without engine. So we'll be able to brake if we need to. So we're not gonna put you in a car with no engine and drive you into the Mediterranean Sea. No, our own with an engine. So welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for all that you're doing in the background. Continue to help us to share. The information is going around. So the work is offline. The work is offline. It's not online. And this is just an enlightenment campaign while people are working in the background. Thank you. And I'll read some of the things that people are saying here. Nina's Matters Arising say, where is Okowa? Where is Obiano? Where is Okorocha? Where are those who ran for governor or senate in 2023 but lost? My dear, one of them lives in my neighborhood. They are still in sinking sand, Nigeria, no? Or they have one of them is not in Nigeria any place. So he's here buying houses. So
Yeah,
that's what they do.
they move their children even before they finish. They move their wives and children, and they relocate and move. Yeah, so and that's what I tell people.
And they will be like Obiano. He'll be walking with his cat
with
or
his
dog
dog
on the street, and he'll be showing you guys pictures. You know, each other way you go, and here I am chilling. That's all they do. You know, steal from our people and use it for themselves. It's sad to say the least. All right, I think we'll just end it for now.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. We are very appreciative of your time, and please continue to help to share even at the conclusion of the show. We thank you. We thank everyone working tirelessly to get this done, and we will achieve our outcome at the end of the day. Bye-bye.
Bye.